Nuggets got their first championship. Shady, you not only won 2 Super Bowls, you won them in back-to-back years. You understand how hard it is, though, with different organizations to win back-to-back Super Bowls. You're an individual who has done it. Kansas City Chiefs, Tampa Bay Bucks. Dynasty talk, though, 2-5. That's crazy. Yeah. Until it's not. They got their first one. Is this the start of a Nuggets dynasty?
I think so, right? And I look at this, and by the way, before I even get into my take, Coach Malone, just see him? Had like a little burp there. Now, I don't know if it's some champagne or what it was, but I like that.
We know what it was.
I love what he said because I truly believe that. I think they have the franchise to get it done. If you watched after they won the game and they had the owners talking and the coaches talking and all the small things they talked about, and it showed me that how they really love to play with each other. I mean, you can talk about the core guys, right? Jokić is going to be there. They got an MVP type player. You need that. You got a really good star in Jamal Murray. He's going to be there. And then the other core guys, Michael Porter Jr., he's not a star, but he's a star for that team. He fits well. 6'10" guy that can shoot and play in athletic ability and that type of talent. And then Eric Gordon. He is a top 5 pick. He fits well with this different Nuggets team. Listen, I don't want to jump off the edge too early, right, and shoot myself in the foot, but I'll say this. I truly believe that this team could be a team that we can talk about for the next 3 to 4 years as being a contender and a champion again.
Shady, I don't disagree with you because, Slick, when I think about it, they have the MVP. When you think about the DNA of a dynasty, what do you need? You need your alpha, your MVP. You need your Michael Jordan. You need your Magic Johnson or Kareem. You need your Steph Curry or LeBron James. You need that alpha. So you have that in the Joker. When you think about a dynasty, what else do you need? You need a pivotal Robin, whether it was Magic or Kareem. At times it oscillated. You need a pivotal Robin. It was Scottie Pippen. It happened to be Kyrie Irving, Dwayne Wade, Anthony Davis. It happened to be Klay Thompson. It happened to be Steph Curry when Kevin Durant showed on the scene. You need a pivotal Robin. Who else do you need? A coach who can see or predict the future. You need a Phil Jackson. You need a Phil Jackson again. You need a Steve Kerr. What did Mike Malone say after he won? We don't just want a championship. We want a dynasty. What else do you need? You need youth. Again, a young Magic Johnson with an aging Kareem. You have a James Worthy. You have a Kyrie Irving. You have a Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, all young. Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokić, MPJ, they are all 28 and under. They have the DNA of a dynasty. I think this could be the start of the next dynasty. Slick, where do you stand?
Yeah, I think you put it well. It's the DNA for a dynasty. There's a lot of things that happen to a team over the course of winning multiple championships. Guys' roles change. Egos get involved. Money gets involved. Now, the beauty of where they are right now is that they have their 5 starters are all under contract. Other than Jeff Green, their rotational players are all under 30 as of right now. So this is a team that can grow. And you have pieces like Michael Porter Jr., who I don't think has played his best basketball.
Right, I agree.
So they can get better as they go. And you have that nucleus that fits together. So if I'm looking at a blueprint for how I would build a dynasty, the Denver Nuggets have that blueprint. But there is the getting it actually done. And we've had this debate, and we will have it again at some point about exactly what is a dynasty.
True.
Right? We're talking not just about 1 year. We're talking about minimum
years.
3 or 4 years.
Yes, sir.
So I will say, Michael Malone's comment is why there's a love-hate relationship between players and coaches. Because you just won the first championship in the history of the franchise. And he's like, let's go get another one. And you're like, come on, man. But I'm still burping up my champagne. Yeah. Like, what? Really?
They
like, we
bottles.
gotta start
Popping
today?
bottles.
Come on. So I see it. I understand why he would put it in front of them now. He referenced Pat Riley. Pat's the first guy that I ever heard say that. Like, celebrating one championship, we're going after the next one. But yeah, look, I don't. There's a part of me that says I want to slow down. There's another part of me that looks at it and goes, yeah, it's legit.
Joy, what do you look at? What do you see when you look at the Nuggets?
Congrats, Denver Nuggets and Denver Nuggets fans. I am going to say lots of nice things. I might say more nice things about the Nuggets than everybody else up here today. Ooh. But this is not going to be the segment where I do that. Oh. And you can blame Mike Malone for that. Because nobody else is talking about this until he decided to introduce this idea of a dynasty. The DNA of a dynasty requires you win multiple championships first. That's the first drop of DNA of a dynasty. A dynasty They won one championship. This is the first championship in the history of their organization. Yeah. Enjoy it, celebrate it, bathe in it, bask in it. It's an amazing experience. Why are you talking about dynasties? Who? Shady, how hard is it to win a championship?
So hard.
You tell us all the time.
Yes, I do.
Stop talking about how easy it is to win championships. It's super duper duper hard to do.
Right.
That's why we celebrate them. That's why we give people just a little bit of extra juice, even if they're an all-time great, if they have more championships.
That's right.
That's why we talk about Michael the way that we do. Come on. Come on. This is such an amazing moment. We're talking about the DNA of a dynasty. You have to win multiple championships before you start talking about the DNA of a dynasty. Now, I understand on paper, this is a great situation. I can look around the league and think of some other great situations as well. Bucks are in a pretty good situation. You know,
not bad. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
The current dynasty, which I don't believe has completely dethroned yet in the Warriors, still have a pretty good situation. They did just win just last year. They were back in the playoffs again this year. There are other teams that have these kind of DNAs. This is a very unique situation in that they do have everybody under contract for another year, but a lot can happen. A lot did happen.
True.
So you know, I know today's the day to like, but like maybe just on the like celebrating and maybe champagne's not his drink. And champagne isn't for everybody.
That is true. That is true. If today is the day to go full steam ahead, then allow me to go just one more step ahead. If I'm forecasting, if I may, Shady, may I? If I may.
Do your thing.
You told him to put the brakes on it.
Yeah, and he's like, nah. We're doing a lot of that today.
To me, a dynasty, if you really want to have one, it's not even just about you. So many people try to make it about the individual talent. It's not just about that. To me, if you really want to accomplish something great in life, it's really about timing. Timing is actually more important than talent itself. I always say, if Bill Gates was born in the year 2000, he would not have been Bill Gates. If Steve Jobs was born in the year 2000, he would not have been Steve Jobs. There are plenty of introspective articles that talk about it. Our biggest tech geniuses were born within a 10-year period, 1955 to 1965. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Michael Dell. Why? Because their timing was right. They were just old enough, Shady, to know how to program, but just young enough to be in tune with electronics. The timing was right. When I think about the timing of even Michael Jordan, if the Bulls were around in starting their dynasty in the 80s, I don't know if they would have been a dynasty, because now you really got the crux of the Lakers. If the Warriors were starting instead of in 2015 in the year 2000, who knows if they would have been a dynasty, because you got to deal with, again, the Lakers with Kobe and Shaq. But because the Nuggets, to me, timing is right. LeBron in the next 2-3 years is going to be 40, 41, et cetera. Steph, next 2-3 years, is going to be 36, 37, 38. Kevin Durant going to be 35, 36, dealing with an Achilles injury. I think the timing is right. I love me some Giannis Antetokounmpo, but I believe Middleton and Jrue Holiday are both early 30s, if I'm not mistaken.
And Brook Lopez.
Brook Lopez, et cetera. So when I think about the potential for a dynasty, Shady, I'm also thinking more than just the Nuggets. I think the timing also looks good.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about the timing. I'm worried about the team here. And when I look at this team compared to all the other teams in the NBA, they're best fit. I truly believe that. Like, to have an MVP like Jokić for the last 2 years, and then you build on it. And then what Coach Malone did, I love, because now, listen, I'm making my boys aware. We're not coming for this one. We're not satisfied. Yo, enjoy your champagne. He's burping on the press conference. Enjoy, pop a bottle, enjoy that. But the main goal, we want multiple. We want to be talked about like the Lakers, like the Bulls, right? All the things you talked about. We want to be mentioned in that category, and I think that's the way you do it. You make your guys aware because their core guys are going to be there, right? They're signed for 4 to 5 years already. So I love the message that he's bringing because I feel like a guy like Phil Jackson, right? Steve Kerr.
Okay.
They probably had them same messages. We got this first one.
Yep.
We want more.
I get that, but you don't have to go dynasty. You can say, let's go get another one. You can say, hey, let's not be satisfied with one. Dynasty, as we've talked about, is like, we're going to, for the next 4 years.
What's the problem with that, though? We want to make a dynasty. That's what we want to go do.
There's just nothing is sacred anymore.
Yeah,
it feels like.
There's
like,
some of that.
When you're talking about dynasties, you're talking about teams that have dominated for a decade, who have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 championships. Right. and you haven't finished celebrating the first one.
That's right. That's
I mean,
right.
barely.
And you
barely.
need a second one before you can even really start having
talking
a
about dynasty.
conversation.
There's steps. Shady, you know this. There's steps to everything. There's
right.
steps to building a team. There's steps to developing that team. There's steps to winning a championship. And this feels like it's going for, we finally took that first big step, and now we're going to look forward 6 steps.
Shady, you
Wait, when the Warriors won that first championship, right? They could have easily said, we got one. We got 2. No, we won all of it. How you know Steve Kerr wasn't sitting in the back? We won dynasty.
Well, saying in the back is one thing.
Because sure enough, they went out and did it. And every year, Western Conference Finals, finals.
Okay.
They did it. Come on now. It sounds crazy until it happens.
True. Sure. No, and it can happen.
Okay.
And look, I'm telling you, the Nuggets have the blueprint. But to immediately go from 1 to 3 or 4,
and you know what?
A little much.
It wasn't for my take, but for your take, the timing is right, though. When you start thinking about it, like, yo, LeBron and them ain't going to be as strong 2 years from now. Steph Curry and them boys, they're going to be a little older. No, I'm just saying, but the timing do make some sense.
Timing makes sense.
I'm on time, baby. I'm never late.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.